So what's going on? This is a developer blog about stress and what not to do because I've been playing with Unity for a while, and they've been talking about this whole MCP thing, and I've been looking at some tutorials. Some are good, some are bad. I've been able to do a few different things, so don't get it twisted. I've I've been doing this for a minute, but I just don't like how the instructions have been for a lot of the demos. And I did do one today that was actually pretty good. So I'm not going to front. I loved how, I did follow the steps and it did get me pretty close to what I might need to do, but I'm not completely sold on it. But that's my honest opinion. So when I finally hooked it up into like having Unity open up inside of using my PowerShell. That we had to make sure that we have the CLI working with it. It gave us a list of the different commands that we can use, which is still kind of cool. I had to make sure that I logged in. So I logged into it. So that was taken care of. I wanted to check what version I had. Because if you go up here, you can see like, yo, what kind of editor do I have information? Oh, you have this. This is what you have loaded in. I'm like, man, this is kind of cool. They show you down here. This is what we doing. We even got our demo going. So I'm like, facts. So then I make a few mistakes. I got all happy, excited. Couldn't spell pipeline no more. It's like, what? But I did get the pipeline in there. So don't worry about it. We did get it there. But one of the cool things was kind of happened is that you can go to your command list, and when you have your command, you can go ahead and see all the different ways that you can actually create stuff. Don't have to worry about it. It's all there. All these different commands. Look at all that. Look at all that. Ridiculous. But the thing that's kind of interesting and awesome is that at the end of the day, let's keep going to the bottom. I can sit here and be like, for example, hey, Unity command editor play. And they'll be like, oh, for real? And now over here, if you notice, it's starting to run. And now it's like, oh, snap. It just did it. Kind of cool. I feel like a parlor trick, but still kind of cool. So now if I go back over to here, same type of code, but this time I don't need to have it play. I want to say maybe stop or exit. Let's see what happens. It took care of it. So yeah, that part is kind of cool that you could just use that, and then the ideal of, oh my god, I could set Claude up to it and it'll work. And that's when it started to get all cattywampus. I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy just going over here. I can right click, I can select a 3D object, got a sphere, it's there, I can move it around, and it's like I have my hands on it. But when we go over here, and let's say you didn't use the right code, so, or the command, you can sit here and you can scroll through all these different commands that you can use that you have ability to do. Like, man, like how we had the editor play, so you enter the play mode. You can read tags, you can cancel tags, pause, create asset, which is actually kind of cool. So, we might want to do something like we want to create a game object. Fine. How do we go about that? It gives you all the information. So now let's go ahead and say like create game object. And if we do it wrong, we're gonna get a gang of red. I guarantee. And so if I just hit that, it doesn't really have anything to create with it. So for example, I know I want a cube. Say that was wrong. And then if you're not privy or used to type in what it is that everything that they might want, then you sitting there twiddling your thumbs. So my thing is, it's not that it's not possible, and if you don't have Claude connected properly to it, you feel like a duck in the water or like someone in a boat that lost its engine. So my recommendation is like it's cool to start to explore and play with CLI as well as the MCP, but nothing beats like old fashioned zooming in, zooming out, and actually getting your hands onto this. And they do have a lovely community. The community is on point, definitely how they want to help, but sometimes developers don't know how to communicate because they do it all day. When you get people that don't do this all day, because I work with different students and they push every button the wrong way. I feel like it's on purpose personally, but it is what it is. They always do something wrong. And that's how I wanted to take one head off and put one head on. Like, what happens? Like, and then you sit in there and you bring in Claude, like, hey, what do I do? And now it's trying to coach you through it, but nothing can replace a human helping you get through these types of tutorials. So that's really my review. I think it has a lot of potential. I think it shows um, where we're going, and we can create a lot of stuff. But we got to make sure that people get the little bite size components to help them become what they need to be in this, because the sky's the limit, and AI empowers us, but sometimes it can also separate us. That's it in a nutshell. I do recommend you go ahead and look up how to set up your CLI for Unity. It'll be fun. They got all types of documentations out there. And just explore, play around, and see what people are doing with it, because some things are so cool that will inspire you to do it. And if everyone can do it, why would anyone do it? So just be that person that's going to make an impact and different with it. And that's my review. It has potential.